Hey you, it's me, Kamilah Joy. I'm here to give you a few tips on detaching from that abusive narcissist in your life. A few tips on reversing that curse, so to speak. These are going to be subtle, so subtle that they're almost stealth, okay? Subtle, stealth, and highly effective. So listen up, okay? Because very discreet. My name is Kamilah Joy, Master Practitioner of Alternative Therapy, and I help clients heal their nervous system after domestic violence or narcissistic abuse or just about anything that causes CPTSD, major depressive disorder, and other disorders like it. But if you have issues with any of those things, stick around because I'm just going to give you a few tips, and I might have to look at my notes first. But the first one is rule number one, so I don't have to look at my notes for this one. It is stop claiming that person as your own in your head when you're talking to other people. And what I mean is I'm all over social media and I'm watching a bunch of people call this person, refer to their abusive husband, their abusive mom, their abusive whatever as their abuser. They're narcissist, they're narc, they're this, they're that. And that person does not belong to you. That abuse does not belong to you. It's something that occurred. It's something that, you've been victimized with, but it is not yours. So we're going to start detaching mentally and energetically if you haven't already detached physically. That would be number one. Everything starts in here. Every single thing ever. Okay? It starts in here. So, number one way to detach is stop claiming them as yours. Don't call them my this or my that. And what do you call them? Because we don't want to leave a void. You use their name. If you're used to calling them honey, baby, this or that, or, mommy, daddy, whatever, use their name. What I do after the bid I did for a very long time in that marriage, right, is the ex-husband, the abuser, the father of my children, the person I was married to, the, not mine, okay? The ex-narc, whatever it is, but it is it is not mine. So there's tip number one. Tip number two. One of the most triggering things I've noticed is music. Okay, so let's say you spent a bunch of time with a narcissist, or an abusive person, but during those love bombing phases, you had some great memories. Okay, and a lot of those great memories come along with a soundtrack, right? So it's like switch those songs in your mind. You start thinking when you're all romanticizing the situation, because that's normal, okay? You're thinking to yourself, that love song is beautiful, and you're imagining this person singing it to you, and you guys are like, in this romantic setting or whatever it is. So whenever that song comes on, it re-triggers you, right? And then it's like, oh, I can never listen to that song again because it sends me on a spiral. No, you're going to listen to the song, and you're going to picture yourself singing it to yourself. It's not crazy. Okay, it works so well. Nobody can tell. You don't have to do this out loud. This is something that you do, in here, privately, discreet, subtle. Okay, so if you need to look in the mirror the first time you try this out, sometimes it's helpful, but most of the time you can just switch it on, and when you start ruminating and connecting that song to that person or that experience, you can just literally give yourself self-love that way. And you will feel the energetic shift. You will feel that bit of detachment, okay, when you just commit to that, okay? There's more tips here. Let's see. Let me check my notes, okay? Bear with me, whatever. These are great. Okay. Presence. Ground a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. So, I've never heard anybody else use this one, but a great affirmation to use to get yourself grounded is simply your name. when there were times, especially during like huge tragedies in my life, I'll start floating, you know, doing the land of what if is what I call it, when you're like, what if this happens, what if that happens, what if this happens, right? And when you need to be grounded and present, you know, there's a specific thing that happens when somebody calls your name. When you're at like the waiting room at the doctor's office, and you know your name finally gets called, a lot of people jump, you know, like, oh, that's me, oh, that's me, right? Oh, that's me. So, just in your mind, say your name, Kamilah, and pull yourself back in. Okay, you don't have to say it out loud. These are all things that you can use to detach your mental and emotional energy from that abusive narcissist or that abuser or whomever, okay? Because that's where they got you first, okay? That's where you lose yourself. That's where, you know, they start playing around once they have access with the gaslighting and, you know, the flying monkeys and the word salad and the stone wallet, okay? So that's what you want to take back first, okay? So ground a lot, because you need to be present. This is how you will regain the connection with yourself, the one that you miss. I know you do, okay? Get to know them again. Connect with them as often as possible through music or through calling out their name, your name. Okay? And last but not least at all, heal your chakras, the centers of yourself, okay? I'm going to leave a meditation that I created a while ago that I still use myself to balance, heal, and align my chakras. Included in that video is a tension-releasing body scan that will also help you soothe and connect deeper with yourself on your way to sleep. So I'll pin that to the end of this video somewhere, okay, so that you can use this for bedtime. Okay, these are the things that help the most. Journaling is great too. However, these are more instant, more subtle, and you don't need anything but you and your mind to get this done, okay? You're training yourself to get to know the deepest parts of you again that kind of got distorted by this person or people, okay? Heal those chakras. If you need help, comment. You can contact me as well. I'll answer questions, you know, but you can also get a one-on-one session with me, or you can work one-on-one. I'm no longer doing single sessions because this is a journey, so you can work with me one-on-one. All the info you need is in the description. Ask any questions that you would like answered, and add any insights. What do you do? Maybe there's something that's not on this list that's very subtle, very free, that we can share with the group, okay? So, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Let me know your thoughts.